Chapter 2 Normal Enough, Jasmine's Perspective. My story had started back when I was only 15. I remember this day so well. I was wearing my school uniform, a pink t-shirt and skirt. My magenta jacket was hanging on my bed. Although it was already 8 p.m., I was so busy with homework that I had forgotten to change. I heard a knock on the door. "Come in!" I yelled. My younger brother, Nicholas Gross, walked in. He was wearing a blue long-sleeve shirt and blue pajama pants set. He never exposed his arms in front of anyone. Nobody quite knew the reason or cared enough to ask. I figured he just had self-confidence issues. I met his icy blue stare. "It's your turn to go to the store." Most of the time, including now, he never really had an expression. I hung my head back. Can I do it tomorrow?" He gave me a small smirk. "Only if you don't want to eat tonight." I stood up immediately and grabbed my purse. Nicholas could go up to 3 days without food. On the other hand, I couldn't go more than a day. Leaping down the stairs, I ran out the door down to Catty Mart. I was nervous about going there. Not because this was the city that never sleeps, but because Catty Mart was right next to City Hall, and I assumed by the light show Ipia was attacking right now. Approaching the little store with caution, I opened the door quickly and shut it. "Good thing you came and closed that door when you did," came a voice from behind. Christopher Nelson, Catty Mart's manager, was standing at the register. Aside from 2 other employees, there was no one else in the store. "You know I'm afraid of those attacks," I stated. "You also know that because my mom works 2 jobs, my brother and I promised to take turns going to the store, no matter what." I picked up a basket and went to the produce section. Fruit, especially berries, were my weakness. My brother, on the other hand, loved bacon, something I despised the taste of. I grabbed both and a few other things. My mother gave my brother and I a credit card with $150 for food every month. Walking up to Christopher, I sighed and began putting the food on the belt. "You good?" he asked me. "Yeah, just feeling a little tired." "Brother said you're studying nonstop for the exam next month." I shrugged and he continued. "I know I'm just a friend of the family, but I know your mother would tell you to take a break as well. Just a thought." I paid for the stuff and nodded. "You're right." I picked up the bags, then stated, "I'll think about it." As I opened the door to leave, I heard a loud smack. That loud smack ricocheted into my hand, hurting it a little. I glanced behind the door. Nothing was going to prepare me for what I had seen. Chapter 3 True Good, Jagwerye's Perspective. After hauling Ipia, Kim, King, and Carl off to jail, Hyena, Puntheria, and I returned to the God world. I was pacing in front of the discussion table. Puntheria sat at the table with her feet on it, and Hyena sat a little farther away, glancing at the surveillance cameras of New Katsikats's jail where Ipia and her team are. "Jagwerye," Puntheria exclaimed, breaking the silence. "Would you like to share your thoughts with the class?" "It is just..." I sighed. "The same cycle keeps happening. Ipia escapes. She comes up with a scheme to get rid of us and rule the world, fails, goes to jail, and then repeats. I feel like there has to be something to break the cycle." "It'll break eventually," Puntheria replied. "How do you know that?" She swung her feet off the table and stood up, walking over to me. Grabbing my shoulders, she stared into my eyes and said, "Her timeline doesn't continue to repeat. I can't tell you when or how, but something will happen to break the cycle." I sighed. Walking over to the table, sat down and rested my head on the table. "I know a way, but I will not kill anyone, especially not my sister, no matter what she has done." "Who says she has to be dead to stop it?" Hyena spoke up. I turned around to meet his gaze. "I used to work for Ipia. She's not the most level-headed or patient goddess, but she's also not heartless. I feel like the right person needs to show her a shred of kindness. Maybe someone who's not afraid of her." "Someone who does not know her well," I mumbled. He gestured at me with his hand, indicating that I might be right. Puntheria leaned on the table. Sometimes I wish we could sit down and talk to her. I shot straight up, standing immediately. We can! She is in jail! One of us could visit her! Guys, Hyena tried. Maybe I should go, Cynthia insisted. Guys, Hyena tried again. I felt offended. Why? Because I have the exact opposite personality? Exactly. Ladies, Hyena shouted. What? Cynthia and I yelled in unison. He crossed his arms. She's gone. I dashed to the cameras and zoomed in on one of the cells containing Ipia and her team. They were all empty. Damn, Cynthia muttered. I loaded all the cameras in the area around the jail, but nothing. Then I loaded the cameras to City Hall. There was Ipia in the middle of a crowd of people. We have to go, I urged. Hoping we weren't already too late, we all rushed out of the room and down to car.